Fairs and festivals are an incredible testament of the power of volunteerism. The majority of our events don't even have a paid staff and still succeed because many Missourians volunteer their time. Fairs and festivals provide important amusement and recreational opportunities to residents and visitors. Fairs and festivals are temporary events which share many operational strategies. The social function of fairs and festivals grew out of rural societies when the fair was a main event in which communities gathered together to celebrate. Fairs and festivals were the key to integration of rural and urban societies. Fairs and festivals often impact small towns, large towns, cities, regions, counties, and even our state and country. Regardless of the impact, all fairs and festivals represent a time of year where residents celebrate their heritage, their families, and their communities. Sometimes the annual festival or fair is the most important positive event that happens in small towns. Children grow and return to their hometowns with their children to enjoy these annual events. In fact, fairs even kind of begin with the youngsters, whether it's walking up on stage to sing a song, winning $5 for a prize-winning work of art, or even just learning what volunteering is all about. Fairs often offer extensive recreational opportunities by providing a wide range of activities for visitors to participate in. Fair and festival goers can either be active participants or even just passive spectators. Festivals educate the public about a variety of topics such as specific foods, interpreting historical events, and celebrating the heritage of specific towns or regions. Have you ever wondered how many communities have fairs? We'll ask Mr. Lon V. Stevens, the famous man who passed the Missouri State Fair bill. After the law was passed, then came the decision of where the fair would be held. As the cities of Chillicothe, Mexico, Sedalia, Moberly, Marshall, and Centralia fight over where the fair should stand, the state board members of agriculture announced that they would vote after visiting the towns. Sedalia was the first stop on the tour of prospective sites. The board members were met by a small group of local businessmen who worked quietly to secure the fair. Members of the town of Marshall offered $20,000 in contributions only if the fair was chosen to be located there. The state members met back in Jefferson City to decide on the location of the Missouri State Fair. Members of each city had delegates ready to greet the board members as they departed on the train. After 10 ballots, Sedalia received the majority vote with the highest bid. The Van Riper family, who originally set aside the land of the location of the state capitol, donated this site. As well, all of the money was spent on temporary buildings, construction of a racetrack, driveways, enclosing and improving the fairgrounds. There was 2 cattle barns with a capacity of 100 animals each, 2 more buildings of similar capacity used for exhibiting purposes, 11 speed barns, a framed sheep and swine barn, and the amphitheater and administrative buildings. The police headquarters and the emergency hospital for the fair were built in 1901 at the cost of $1,500. Homes for the custodian, florist, and secretary were built around 1900. The first Missouri State Fair was held September 9th through the 13th in 1901. Mr. Norman J. Coleman of St. Louis was the first president of the board of directors, and J.R. Ripley was the first secretary. The board consisted of 15 members from the 15 congressional districts. The president and vice president received no salaries except for actual expenses. Fairs and festivals wouldn't even be possible if it weren't for typical mixture of private dollars, grants, state fundings, sponsorship dollars, and net revenue from events operations. The specific mix is dictated by organizational structures and governance. They also wouldn't be able to do much without all the helping hands they get each and every year. When the first Missouri State Fair was staged in 1901, Missouri's population was 2/3 rural. Today, the majority of the state's residents live in urban areas. This reversal of lifestyle is reflected dramatically in changes in exhibits, departments, and contests at the state fair. Popular contests of early fair days, including cracker eating, pie eating, sausage eating, nail driving, and guess how many kernels of corn a hog can eat in a day contests, and much more. The 1927 State Fair catalog advertises a baby contest, a health contest, mining and forestry displays, and a kennel show. A variety of entertainment acts filled the grandstands in the first part of the century. Dance revues, 100 voice choirs, and death-defying acts of the 20s and 30s have been replaced today with tractor pulls, top-name singers, and auto races. Where Buffalo Bill and his Wild West show had hawkers of patent medicine once held forth, country stars and demonstrators of vegetable slicers now draw crowds. Winning prize money and ribbons is not the only thing that motivates thousands of Missouri youngsters to enter the state fair each year. Indeed, the money paid in premiums usually doesn't even cover the feed bill of an FFA or 4-H member's transportation to the fair. In addition to the activities of the 11-day Missouri State Fair, the fairgrounds are utilized on a year-round basis to capture or even broader audience. On average, the Missouri State Fairgrounds are used for more than 350 days a year. Off-season usage accounts for approximately half the fairgrounds' annual attendance, drawing over 300,000 visitors to various events, including camper rallies, livestock shows, organized athletic leagues and tournaments, craft shows, and youth rallies. Whether critics or strong supporters of the fair, most Missourians agree that it takes the dedication and cooperation of hundreds of people to host an 11-day event like the State Fair. They also agree that as long as agriculture remains a majority industry in the state, the fair will continue to be a premier showcase for it. The Missouri State Fair is the #1 site for major competitions highlighting the best of the best in the great Show Me state of Missouri.